Welcome to the Body Temples Body Blogs. Today we're going to talk about health maintenance. We're going to talk about what is health and how to maintain health.
You don't shed no tears, no tears. Say, your body is your temple, your one and only temple. Your body is your temple, your one and only temple. You are living in the holy places. Upon creation, goodness and mercy, driven from the minds of the people of meditation. Josiah, deliver, Josiah, have mercy, Josiah. Father, send us some goodness and mercy. It got a murder.
What's interesting is that you find a lot of healers that are talking about healing, and they're talking about disease. And they're talking about healing and disease from inside of concrete walls. They're talking about healing and disease from books, but not have actually brought about a transformation in the body. Or however, those people have never really even been effective in transforming health. It's important for us to slow our roll as new jacks and to really learn what is the fundamentals of what is health and what creates and what perpetuates disease.
You know, that's very true, because we have a tendency to use these European definitions that are stuck in a vacuum. So health 5,000 years ago and health today, you're going to be talking about different things today than you would have been thousands of years ago. Mm-hmm. So what you have to do for your health in particular is going to be, you know, very specific to this time and in this location. It'll be very different on the continent of Africa and the Caribbean or whatever. They have different environmental issues and everything. So we can't really just have this one blanket statement that we just spread over everybody in relation to what health is to even maintain it.
Exactly. One of the things that we know is the human body is an organism, not a mechanism. Being an organism, we understand that organisms move and operate and expand and contract according to environment, in energy that is passed. Also, it is operates according to what you consume, and what you consume energetically, and your ability to assimilate the energy and food, as well as to eliminate that energy, food. Also to assimilate and eliminate the environment around you. That's key. When you are looking at a mechanism operates irregardless of environment. It operates irregardless of energy. It operates irregardless of consumption.
You know, that's a very good point, and it kind of goes back to the point I made just a moment ago about what is specific to conditions where you're at. In some ways today, unfortunately, a mechanism has less things to deal with maybe than the human body. because people are only it's only going to vary by what type of gas they put in there, what type of motor oil. But the human body today is got to do with animal flesh, hormones, antibiotics in those animals, GMO plants, um, all type of environmental toxins that we breathe in, you know, all sorts of things. So elimination becomes something that again is going to be very specific to your environment, your background, what you were born with already, what's in your family history and everything. And I think that that's where people run into problems trying to pursue it in a very generalized fashion.
One of the things that we wanted to bring and that to put on the table for us as healers is to understand what the body organism needs in order to to give as a signature and a sign that it is healthy. What it needs to give us as a sign that it is healthy. What it needs to, in order to function and maintain itself for an optimal amount of years. And the body organism needs to be able to assimilate, eliminate, and regenerate. And the ability to assimilate requires that the body be clean and the food that is taken in be nutrient dense. It also requires that the ability for the cells to be able to
GMO plants, um, all type of environmental toxins that we breathe in, and, you know, all sorts of things. So elimination becomes something that again is going to be very specific to your environment, your background, what you were born with already, what's in your family history and everything. And I think that that's where people run into problems trying to pursue it in a very generalized fashion. So, you know, the second point was that about being a healer. Um, Understand what we mean at the body temple. We said all of our people are healers by necessity. You have to be able to heal yourself and your families. It's a luxury to be able to consult a naturopathic doctor or an herbalist, all of these things. And you should where you're not certain what to do, but you have to take on a certain level of responsibility for your own health. So when we say healer, we are including self-healer in that.
the next stage of health maintenance is the ability to eliminate. Elimination is key. If you are unable to eliminate toxin or literally the chemical waste matter from foods that you eat, the physical the physical buildup of the starches that you may take in, then you will begin to find yourself with an accumulation of toxins. Those things begin to accumulate. Those foods that you take in that you enjoy, those greasy foods or those starchy foods or those even those different types of meats will begin to accumulate in your body. Milks, cheeses, even utilize making nut things, and these things can have a film and they can accumulate on the walls of your intestines. But what also we don't pay attention to is that it also accumulates on the walls of your cells. Your cellular walls have waste matter attached to them also. You're also dealing with fat. That's mechanical, it's simple, it's on the surface of it, everybody sees it, but that's constipation also. Then we're also dealing with cholesterol and congestion. In dealing with constipation, cholesterol, and congestion, these things are blocking your body's ability to eliminate.
Also, what Mama Mawusi mentioned are some of the, I guess, the milder forms of toxification. Artificial colors, pesticides, artificial flavors. These things should never even have been allowed to be in the classifications of foods in the first place.
Artificial
So
food.
you know there's a lot of that type of stuff to eliminate as well. And that is going to be a big part of the process. Again, I'll say plant-based diet, because you can assimilate and eliminate simultaneously a lot. And we have found that over the last 20 something years to really be true.
Regeneration. This is our last course of action. Understanding the last course of action to speak about. Understanding what is regeneration has a lot to do with what you're generating with. If you have taken in nutrients and you have eliminated toxins or and waste matter, then your body can regenerate on its own. It has its own regenerative natural potential within itself. And to the extent for which you continue to keep up your circulation and your exercise, the foods that help to support circulation and keeping the free flowing energy going through your body, you put yourself in environments that support your health, healing, and just your overall well-being. You put yourself in those environments, you will see a faster regeneration and a literally making yourself block, fight, and make yourself almost impervious to disease and disorder. It's a stick. That's a nice stick.
Yeah, rejuvenation really is the order of the day. And that is a time-consuming process. That a lot of times can be the most time-consuming part of the process. It takes a while to really regenerate. You will begin to eliminate it once you stop taking in the poisons and getting the body moving through the various systems of elimination: the kidneys, the liver, the bowels, the lymph system, lymphatic system. But it will take a while to totally rejuvenate. Even in Western science, they say it takes what a cell regenerates every 7 years.
Yeah.
So think of it in those terms, and think of how long the abuses have been happening with the body, and
And this,
put
and
in the
you
work
know
to
what's interesting?
regenerate.
The seven put in. I apologize. I wanted to highlight in bold print. Put in the work to regenerate. That's true. And I was thinking about is that when they say 7 years, that's in the society for which they created. What if, when we look at a keloid on an African's body, when a person they
Within
keloid
days,
within
yeah.
days. So that is a process that's out of order, but it is a process of elimination that African people have, and that's an ability that they have. Thus, let's say a person gets a piercing. When they get this piercing and their skin does not take that piercing, they begin to keloid immediately. The process of cell multiplication happens. So that is not necessarily true that the cells regenerate at seven after 7 years. It depends on the health of the healing power and health held within the cells of that melanated being. We're now as healers, as um, teachers and healers, beginning the process of overstanding the possibilities and potentiality of what melanin can give us as African people, in our ability to heal, and in our ability to regenerate, in our ability to eliminate, in our ability to assimilate. It gives us an extra added healing ability as melanated beings.
Right. The only thing I would add to that is do not take that for granted, though.
We
And that's
have
why I
been.
said take the time, put in the work to regenerate. And if it takes 7 years, it takes 7 years.
Yeah.
Because most of our people have, whether consciously or unconsciously, abused their bodies their whole entire life.
Right.
So
True.
that's a small investment, given the reward of revitalization.
I would say we are losing that ability the more we participate in the diet of the Ma'afa,
Right.
the diet of white supremacy, one that is being led by degenerative people who are leading us in a diet
For profit.
for profit.
Because they profit on both ends. They profit selling you the garbage, and then their brothers and their uncles profit in the doctor's offices, in the funeral homes.
And
you know,
harvesting your energy.
and your organs. If they can salvage anything after they poisoned you to kill you in the first place.
That's right.
So, elimination, assimilation, and regeneration.
Thank you.
You don't shed no tears.